read their own life of their own. And it sort of became this kind of rigorous, this idea of himself. But in it, he tries to, with great frustration, but also enthusiasm, he says, the phrase he uses is without anger and without affection, describes this problem of trying to marry classical, as a kind of classical one of physics with the atomic level. This first poem is called Diffusion. A blindfolded man is walking across a field. There is no wind. Another blindfolded man arrives. The sun is overhead. There is no wind. A third blindfolded man is now in the field. The body feels the same against the legs. The sun is overhead. There is no wind. A fourth blindfolded man wanders here. The field is turning a rich purple. The barley feels the same against the legs. The sun is overhead. The wind? No wind. The tongues of the blindfolded men taste like permanganate. The field is turning a rich purple. The barley feels the same against the legs. The observer is overhead. There is no wind. The blindfolded molecules are evenly distributed. The field is a rich purple. The molecules feel the same against the particles. The observer is overhead. There is no wind. Schrodinger says, first sight is perplexing, but only at first sight. We move from higher concentration to lower. We close our eyes. Everything is purple. There is no wind. The observer is ourselves in our heads. We imagine permanganate against our legs. Our thoughts are evenly distributed. He goes into one point in one of his lectures, in a moment he calls lighter bodies and thinner and longer fibers. And it's sort of prefaced by a quote from a poet called Kakania, who says, how to write a poem to catch the air around a butterfly. The air is moved by so little. On average, every cloud is in a state of graceful fall. We must bear out the specific gravity of droplets. Magnified, we see water suffers molecular impacts. As we get closer, consider that the droplet trembles. We can measure electric, magnetic, or gravitational forces on a thread. The magnetized stone twists north. Make the stone lighter, the thread thinner. The torsional balance is susceptible to weaker forces. The length so long, the load so light. Hot molecules make the thread dance. The magnetized atom skips on the air. We are lucky that our organs are not so sensitive. The world would make precious little sense. Although it was published in 1944, he makes this analogy about General Montgomery at Al-Alamein. And so I wrote this poem, which is called You See Montgomery, in mitosis every chromosome is duplicated. When certain divisions are made, an army marches on what it's supplied. When certain divisions are made, every single soldier is meticulously informed. An army marches on what it's supplied. Every single soldier is meticulously informed. Collectively, we now have greater intelligence. You see Montgomery do this in Africa. Collectively, we now have greater intelligence. This raises the reliability of men. Two complete sets of chromosomes are exactly similar. You see Montgomery do this in Africa. This raises the reliability of men. This is maintained throughout the mitotic divisions. Two complete sets of chromosomes are exactly similar. This is maintained throughout the mitotic divisions. The anti-selective modern mass slaughter of the healthy youth reserved means that they serve no other purpose. The anti-selective modern mass slaughter of the healthy youth, this hardly outweighs the consideration that war may have a positive value. Reserved means that they serve no other purpose. This hardly outweighs the consideration that war may have a positive value, the exception being the departure from the rule. Collectively, we now have greater intelligence. And this last one is called I rely on the clock that has not been cooled to minus 273 degrees Celsius. As well you know, a very useful kind of clock can convert the regular transmission of electric pulses from a power station. It's purely mechanical. Events follow distinctly and directly, order from order. Let's analyze the motion of a real clock accurately. It's not all a purely mechanical phenomenon. A purely mechanical clock would need no spring, no winding. Once set in motion, it would go on forever. This is an infinitely complicated atomistic process. The general picture the physicist forms of it compels him to admit that the inverse process is not entirely impossible. A springless clock might suddenly begin to move at the expense of heat, the environment. The clock undergoes an exceptionally intense fit of Brownian movement. It will continue to operate if you cool it. Superheated, all time will eventually melt away.